Hello, everyone. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I started this channel to talk about geopolitical issues, what's going on in the world and whatnot. But it seems a day doesn't go by that a story pops up that just gets underneath my skin. So a friend of mine, Meriwether Ball, who is the editor of CoreStories.com, and I'll link her page in the comments. And she's been a huge supporter of Marines and military for the last 30 years. She's a former squid in the Navy, which I didn't know about until recently. She claims she told me that about 20 years ago, but I just don't remember. I typically don't talk to squids. So nonetheless, she's a friend now. So she sent me a story about this incident that happened in Tampa, Florida. So there's this retired veteran who's 71 years old, and he was getting veterans pension. Now this is a program that applies to several thousand, around 10,000 or so veterans that are in special needs. They get a pension from the VA, and he'd been receiving this pension for the last 10 years to the tune of about total over the last 10 years about $108,000. And simultaneously, he was also receiving Social Security, approximately about $2,400 a month combined. And the VA just contacted him and said, hey, we weren't supposed to give you the VA pension because you're getting Social Security. Now, this gentleman reported it that he was getting Social Security for the last 10 years. And so they want to recoup his money, $108,000. This guy is living, paycheck to paycheck. He doesn't have $108,000 to return to the VA. So they said, you know what, for the next 10 years, we're not going to give you any of the pension. Well, to me, this is another example of how we screw up veterans. And it really pisses me off because at the end of the letter that they sent him, they said, if you're stressed out, call the suicide hotline. I mean, you got to be shitting me, So the government screwed up by overpaying him. And I understand they have to recoup the funds and whatnot. But here's the bottom line. The guy doesn't have it. It was a fault of the VA that they overpaid him. And now they want to go and screw this guy and they're going to burden him with this debt. That's absurd. It's really absurd. And it really bothers me when we're giving billions and billions of dollars away to foreign countries, but yet we're going to screw our vets. And these are the people that when the nation needed them, they stepped forward, they went into harm's way, and they did their duty. And then when we come home, we find a way to screw these people one way or another. No wonder we have 44 veteran suicides a day. It's because nobody gives a shit about them. That's the bottom line. So we need to be smart about it. People need to step up, politicians, general officers, admirals, the VA, and start applying some common sense to a lot of this stuff. $108,000 is not big money when our budget is over $5 trillion a year. So we need to figure out how to stop this madness. And by my research, there's roughly about 10,000, approximately 10,000 veterans that this is going to impact. And that's absurd. So we're better than this as a nation. We're better than this as a military. And we need to take care of veterans. That's the message. So I hope this message gets out loud and clear. Those people that can contact their congressmen, senators, and make an issue out of this. That's the only time they're going to listen to us because it's election cycle and they need the votes. And we got to make our vote count. So I encourage every one of you to write to your congressman, representative, and it's important that our voice be heard. That's all I got. Khan out.